All right, what's going on, everyone? It's been a while since I made a video, but I'm going to start making them again because I've got a lot of value to provide you guys when it comes to outbound. And this video specifically is going to be basically what we've learned about offers, and specifically outbound offers that we present in cold email, LinkedIn outreach to actually book calls in 2026. So the first thing I want to mention is the days of just being able to promise an outcome or guarantee a certain outcome and blast that generically to your niche is not something that works anymore. With all the things that we have with Claude Code, N8N, all the tools that all the pop of fluff that you see on LinkedIn when it comes to outbound marketing and all this stuff you can do, it overcomplicates a lot of it, because at a fundamental level, you can book calls with just a very good offer and a very high quality list, and you don't need to send 50,000 emails a month. But the crucial part is you need to have the right offer. And so that's what this video is about, and is what we've used to book 600 calls ourselves personally, internally. We've helped one of our lead gen for SaaS clients close 3 deals, book 60 appointments. One of our clients doing reactivation for home improvement companies, we booked him 15 calls recently in the last 7 days. We've booked calls in e-commerce, we've booked calls in manufacturing niches, pretty much any niche we've made work that we've had a client for. So this is why I want to make this video, because it's crucial. So if you want to run outbound systems yourself. So the first thing is you need the offer to speak to the sophistication level of the actual buyer. So when it comes to messaging agency owners, for example, my kind of niche, we help agency owners book appointments with outbound. Not a pitch, just explaining what we do. My niche could be more receptive to, we can get you more clients or you don't pay. We can get you more revenue or you don't pay. But that only attracts a certain type of agency owner. Because we're staying done for you, and I want to attract bigger business owners, those business owners are not as receptive to an outreach like that, just where you promise an outcome. Companies with 10 employees, 50 employees, and you reach out to the CEO, you can't just tell them, I'm going to get you more clients. You need to speak to a higher awareness level, because they're not stupid. They're not they don't have the mindset of an early agency owner that just wants to get clients and wants to change their life and business. So when we reach out to business owners that, agency owners that are more sophisticated, we reach out with, if we could book you an extra 3 to 4 financially qualified meetings every week without any crazy promises or spray and pray outreach, they're way more susceptible to, well, not really susceptible, they're way more inclined to reply to that and book a meeting with us, because they've probably been pitched, we can get you more clients. They've probably had bad experiences with agencies that just sent mass volume for them and didn't really book them any calls. But we're going to get them exactly what they want, and we don't need to mention a guarantee in there. Simply being specific about your offer and speaking to their sophistication level, which is basically speaking to where they're at when it comes to outbound, because most agencies struggle with outbound, but they've tried things and they've tried agencies. So you have to play to that angle. You can't just tell people you'll get them more clients. It doesn't work anymore. It didn't work. It doesn't work for 3 years. Some more examples, for example, in the software niche, we have a client in the software niche. He does outbound GTM for software companies. And we reach out to prospects and we tell them, if we could book an extra 3 to 4 product demos with financially qualified prospects looking for their exact service, and we use AI and Claude Code to kind of fill in that custom variable by going to the website of the company and seeing exactly what they sell and who they sell it to. We basically plug in the custom variable of a specific kind of ICP that they want to be working with, and that we can get them 3 to 4 high ticket product demos with those companies every week. That hits so much more effectively than just saying, we can get you product demos or you don't pay. That's another example. Then in e-commerce, a lot of things people do in e-commerce, we work with a few email marketing agencies, and they say they've had experience with agencies, and I see this on LinkedIn all the time, and we've probably tried it before, is when you say you reach out to a 7-figure and 8-figure brand owner and you say, oh, we can get you 50 to 250K a month in the next 90 days with email marketing, or you don't pay. They've got about 20 emails like that in their inbox, and a 7-figure, 8-figure brand owner isn't thinking in terms of, we need more revenue or customers. They're not thinking like that. They're thinking more in the specific metrics that they're seeing in their dashboards every day. So they're thinking about LTV. They're thinking about their AOV, the average order value. They're thinking about the back-end revenue. They're thinking about the money that they're spending on ads and how much of that is converting into revenue. So when we reach out to brand owners with an email SMS offer, we just say things like, if we could retarget everyone who clicks on insert top product to essentially buy again, because there's multiple things. You have to really encapsulate the value of your service in a way that still speaks to the outcome. So like in email and SMS, what the real value of that is a brand is spending a lot on ads. How much are they actually converting into back-end high profit revenue? How much are they leaving on the table? Because like the value of email and SMS is you don't have to spend more on ads. You can make way more by just improving your abandoned checkout flows, increasing your sign-up form rate, post-purchase rate, like when people buy again after they've bought once. It's like we basically, on behalf of like the e-com agencies that I work with, I tell the brands that we can recover more sales than they are right now. And they are so more receptive to that. Like we've booked a call with the Shark Tank brand, 8-figure brand, multiple 7-figure brands. One of my clients recently closed a deal with a 7-figure brand. He'll probably make a fair few K a month from that. Now, all this to say is like people say, outbound doesn't work anymore. And specifically for e-commerce, people say it's a notoriously hard niche. And yes, you need a bit more volume in e-commerce, but the thing is, when you speak at the right awareness level to a prospect and they see the email, they're going to resonate with it. Like outbound has always worked, otherwise it wouldn't be a thing. And so the only way it does work is if you actually present an offer that is specific and tangible and doesn't rely on crazy guarantees and outcomes. And this video, I haven't made a video in ages, but like this is 90% of outbound. This is what took us from generating decent results for clients to generating amazing results. So, because there's only 3 variables. There's the offer, there's, I guess the copy is kind of in that as well. But at the end of the day, the copy is 90% what offer you're presenting, really. And then there's the leads, and then there's deliverability. If you have really good infrastructure, like if we have a done for you service, if you want us, or if you want an agency to book appointments for you, the infrastructure is sorted, or you can watch YouTube videos about setting up infrastructure, not too difficult. Then you have lead this building with Claude Code, Appify, all these things that are on the market now, and all the tools that we can use. You've probably seen on LinkedIn that to build high quality lists. We use a multitude of things, and we kind of make our own proprietary tools and softwares to build out high quality lead lists for e-commerce. Whether it's those home improvement companies that we're reaching out to, mid-market companies, high-market companies, specific software companies, specific agency owners that we reach out to. You can get super granular in who you're targeting. And then as long as you're making sure you're landing in the inbox, and I'm speaking for cold email here specifically, the only thing that's left is a genuinely good offer that the prospect opens and reads and then replies positively to. And so people think that because the reply rates are like, KPI reply rates are like 2%. And positive reply rate is like, if you get a positive reply rate nowadays of 1% for cold email, you're doing very well. Because the reality is most people aren't even seeing the email. That's not to say that it's not working. The statistics are that most founders aren't actually seeing the email that you're sending. But the ones that do, if it's the good message, they're going to reply, you're going to book meetings, you're going to close deals. It's as simple as that. And so the main takeaway is with the offer, you have to actually speak to the specific problems and pains and a specific tangible outcome that they think about every day. That's not just more clients and more revenue, because that is only works for like a B2C kind of offer nowadays. Because like you're selling the dream to younger, 18-year-olds, 19-year-olds who just want to make money. They're way more receptive to that kind of offer. It's a bigger company with 50 employees, not going to be receptive to that. And a 8-figure brand owner is not going to be receptive to that. So you need to basically, because you guys have your service and you know a lot about your niche. And this is why a good thing when we take on clients, they know a lot about their niche. And so they can give us all the information to help us do it. But you also know a lot about your niche. So if you know a lot about your niche and you basically apply the principles that I've said here, you can craft an offer in an email that's literally just templated. Like if I could do X, which is something specific that they want, without doing Y or Z, which is something they've experienced before or something they've tried before, you immediately stand out. And you don't need to go into what you do. You don't need to make a long email. You don't need to do any of that. Like literally all you need to do is present an offer and kind of specifically, and then have the withouts, like without whatever doesn't work for them, but that they've tried. And so the point is, offers are 90% of outbound. If you get it right, you're going to crush it. I'm going to keep making videos. We got crazy stuff with Claude Code coming. I'm going to make more videos about it. Cheers.